Today we are returning to Lucy for a live performance of an intro, which is Paganini Caprice number 24 or Paganini Caprice number 24. Not sure how to pronounce that. That is a classical piece, I think, that's going to be performed as an intro, and then Knowhow. This was a request by an anonymous patron. Thank you so much. Let's get right into it. The tension.
소리 질러! 소리 질러! 안녕.
Before we get too deep into what I believe is Knowhow, let's talk about the intro for a sec, the performance of that classical piece. It was so emotive and moving, every moment of it. I'm a little ashamed to say that as a composer, I've never heard this piece. To be honest, classical music isn't really my thing. Well, I lied. I have like select classical pieces that I really enjoy, but I haven't done my due diligence in seeking out classical music in the way that I seek out pop and metal. I really rely on other genres to draw me back to classical now and then. And I also enjoy classical mainly in the background, but when I see classical pieces performed with such charisma and precision and skill as this, it really reminds me that there's so much that I have to go back and check out. And these guys are obviously classically trained fans. They know their pieces, and this is a great piece, presumably to open the concert with. I honestly wasn't expecting the dual soloing with the bassist. That was a really sick touch. Very metal of them. When the band kicked in, I really thought that Knowhow was going to continue the darker vibe of the classical piece, Whereas it seems Knowhow is a bit of a brighter song, which is fine, but I was very much into that sort of evil place. It sort of gave me imagery of a masquerade ball or a haunted theater or something. The combination of the violin with the whole band also reminded me of a group called Unlucky Morpheus, and I'm sure a lot of Lucy fans probably are familiar with Unlucky Morpheus since the setup is quite similar, even though Unlucky Morpheus are more of a metal band. I would highly encourage fans of both bands to cross-pollinate a little bit, because if not, they're missing out. I quite enjoyed the bright lift into Knowhow, and I love the way the vocalist came on stage. Forgive me, I have to look up his name and the names of all the members because I've forgotten at this point. Lucy, members. Songyeop, yeah. Even before he started singing, you can already tell that he's totally comfortable on stage, has the audience in the palm of his hand. He looks like he's gotten a full night's rest. That's either a result of great makeup or great lighting or genuine rest. Great to see. Let's go back a little bit and kick back into that song and continue.
소리 질러! 소리 질러! 안녕? 아무리 달래도 어두운 바다에 잠긴 듯 하늘이 눈부셔도 머리엔 먹구름 비가 따라따라 외치는 마음은 가슴에 머금고 먹고 봤던 많은 사람들 눈엔 그저 어린아이 아쉽게도 지금 막혀도.
Okay, I know I'm an old man yelling at the moon here, but the way that the entire audience has their phones out and is filming is a little freaky, absurd, and just confusing. Okay, I'm guilty of filming at concerts too, but for the most part, I really want to be there presently in person, seeing them perform with my own eyes. And if I am going to film something, I'll usually try to film a part of one of my least favorite songs and my least favorite part of that least favorite song, so that I don't miss all of my favorite songs and my favorite parts of those songs. But it seems the whole audience is ready to film here. Quite odd. It's a shame that this generation is going that route, but hopefully it's just a trend that will fade away, and I think inevitably it will fade away because phones will become obsolete. You know, eventually we'll just have glasses or chips or whatever to automatically press record so we won't have to think about it. But this is just still, it's just a strange thing. I have to bring it up because it's such a dystopian image what I'm looking at right now, you know? Very weird. Very Black Mirror-esque, I suppose you could say. I wanted to stop anyway and talk about the verse because already there's so many cool things happening in the verse. I really enjoy the piano in this verse. I see that there is a pianist performing who is not on the group. She's in the background there. At least I can't see her performing on a piano or a keyboard, but I assume that's what she's doing because she's kind of looking down. I love the use of the violin in this verse. It's filling in the spaces where he's not singing. There's lots of counterplay to the lead vocal, and his voice is just gorgeous. Really lovely, unique tone. Nothing too challenging or crazy vocally so far. It's interesting. His voice isn't like on the same level as the level that the rest of the group are on their own instruments. You know, because you could consider the voice an instrument, really. That is what makes their sound interesting to me, and of course, palatable and commercially viable, because his style is, it's quite casual. There are more theatrical elements to his belting and stuff, but largely it's quite poppy, and that's what makes it appealing to me, of course. But I suppose I would be interested to know what songs are his vocal highlights. Maybe this will be one.
머리엔 먹구름 비가 따라따라 외치는 마음은 가슴에 머금고 먹고 봤던 많은 사람들 눈엔 그저 어린아이 아쉽게도
정해져 있지 않잖아 빠져놓죠
Okay. Going back to the vocals, as I said before, I love the unique tone of his voice. I can't really think of any singers that I can compare him with. I'm wondering if that's because his technique is a little off. I think he is 100% in control, but I'm wondering if there could be some tweaks to be made to help his voice sound a little bit less tense in the upper range around his passaggio. And the passaggio is really sort of the mid upper range. There's like a passage in the voice where one requires very good technique for it to not sound tense. And I feel like there's a lot of tension in his singing. And it results in a very, very tight, pointed tone. Like those high notes are very tense to my ears. And I think he's young and this kind of singing probably doesn't bother him much, but I think over many years that will take its toll. Like compare that sound to the sound of his falsetto afterwards. It's so clear and relaxed. That's because in his falsetto he's gotten past the passaggio into a range that's much more comfortable for him and he can really relax into it. It doesn't require as much precise technique, it's more natural for him and it sounds amazing. So my favorite part of this chorus is that beautiful falsetto melody. Really, really grabbed me, really touched me in the heart first time I heard it. I want to hear it again. Gorgeous, really lovely. And the way that note lands on the chord progression too is just a masterful songwriting.
알지 잠깐 정해져 있지 않잖아 빠져놓죠 파란바 맘대로 생각하나 해 너는 늘 아름다워 아쉽게도 지금
That guy has a decent voice, and even though he was a little bit pitchy, I think he adds a nice color to the group, more gritty rock style. I did hear the drummer sing, and he had a nice tone, but wasn't as distinct as the guitarist, really.
있지 않잖아 빠져놓죠 파란바 맘대로 생각하나 해 너는 늘 아름다워 아쉽게도 지금 막혀도 빛나는 게 너예요 너를 전혀모르면서
너가 아닌 다른 사람들이 남겨놓은 흔적들을 따라 그런 길을 가야만 하는 거라도 다른 사람인 척하는 건 어질러진 꿈에 너만 사라져버릴 것 같아 널 다른 세계에 담는 것보다 난 너를 사랑한다 할 수 있는 게 노하우인 거야 이 세상 어딜 봐도 넌 하나뿐인걸 다른 사람인 척하는 건 어질러진 꿈에 너만 사라져버릴 것 같아 널 다른 세계에 담는 것보다
I loved that descending melody, the quick descending melody in the middle of that chorus.
버릴 것 같아 널 다른 세계에 담는 것보다 난 너를 사랑한다 할 수 있는 게 뭐라고 감사합니다
amazing performance, tight, musical, so enjoyable, so fun. I really love how they give space for a full violin solo in their songs. I absolutely love that. Really allows you to settle into it and just enjoy the song as a full piece. I was also really enjoying the halftime feel of the chorus. Really sort of gets you bobbing along. You know, it kind of goes hard, even though it's a very light, happy song. There's that element of it. It's like, that goes hard. And I also loved the adjustment of that final falsetto melody to a slightly higher note. That was a lovely, pretty detail. Unfortunately, I didn't hear much of the drummer. I think they could have done with turning up his mic a little bit. Sorry, I need to start referring to them by their names. The drummer is Gwang-il, and the violinist is Ye-chan, and the bassist Wan-sang. Everyone was so tight, delivered great performances. I might have spent too much time talking about the singer's technique. It's such a nitpick, really. I've noticed that I tend to talk more about constructive criticism I have for music rather than the stuff that I really love. So I would just like to reiterate that I really, really enjoyed this track. It is a very pretty one, distinctly their style. I think my favorite song of theirs so far would still have to be Haze, but it was really cool to see what their live performances sound and look like. And I do love their outfits too. It is very much giving that masquerade ball feeling that I talked about, and I liked the theatrical bow that Sang-hyuk gave at the beginning. His singing was completely on pitch, on point the whole way through. I do worry about him sort of forcing out the notes a little bit too much, but at the same time, that style is what makes his singing and his voice distinctive in a way. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, I suppose you could say. But overall, I'm super into this group. I am really hyped about discovering them, and I'm definitely gonna catch them live the next time they're in my area. Let's check out the lyrics. The lyrics go, no matter how much you comfort yourself, as if submerged in the dark sea, even if the sky is glaring at you, dark clouds above your head and rain dripping. Whatever will be, cry out your heart, hold it in your chest. The words I made up my mind to say in the eyes of people are just like a young child. Sadly, even if you mess up and get stuck, you're the one who shines. You have absolutely no idea. It's not about you, but other people who are left following the trail. So even if you have to go down the road pretending to be someone else in a messy dream, only you, I feel, is going to disappear. Rather than putting you in a different color, be able to say, I love myself, is what I can do. That's my know-how. It's a song really about being yourself and being true to yourself. Don't be too pressured by others, and don't worry too much about what other people think. The line that says, the words I made up my mind to say in the eyes of people are just like a young child. I think that's saying that it's childish to adjust the things you say or the way you speak due to others, which is what they mean by the words that you make up in your mind to say in the eyes of people. Because words shouldn't really be made up, they should just come out. And it says, if you have to go down the road pretending to be someone else, only you is going to disappear. It goes on. Wait, it's not decided yet. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Are those the colors of the pride flag? That's a lot of colors, and it could be alluding to some variant of the pride flag, which would be pretty neat, and it would fit with the meaning of the lyrics that I've been getting. It goes on, tell others to think what they want. You're always beautiful. Sadly, even if you mess up and get stuck, you're the one who shines. Wondering how that translation works, because it says, sadly, even if you mess up and get stuck, you're the one who shines. That line would make sense without the word sadly, because shining is always good. It's never a sad thing. It must be a translation thing. It goes on, wherever you look in this world, you're one of a kind, pretending to be someone else in a messy dream. Rather than putting you in a different color, being able to say I love myself is what I can do. That's my know-how. Yeah, a cute and simple message. I'm inclined to think that the references to colors are more referring to diversity of people and personality rather than the song being about pride only. But it would be interesting to see if the band members have talked about that. It was also cool to read in my comments about how they never write songs about love or relationships. And I think that's the coolest idea ever. They're committed to not going down the beaten path. All right, that about concludes my analysis of Paganini, Caprice number 24, and Knowhow Live by Lucy. If you'd like to suggest a reaction, please leave a comment or subscribe to my Patreon, as my patrons always get priority, and you'll also have access to exclusive content. That's about it. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Thanks so much and take care.